Hey, and happy holidays, Monarchs. Welcome to Monty's Career Monday. We have a very fun panel today. You might recognize some of these faces. They are all teachers at Manzano High School. I'm Ms. Chavez, your college and career readiness counselor. And we're just going to go around the squares right now, and everybody's going to introduce themselves.
Hi, it's Miss Carr. Welcome, everyone. So glad to have all of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Martinez. I'm so happy to see all of you here with us.
I am Mr. Aslan. I'm as well very glad to see all of you here.
And I'm Miss Simpson. So happy to be here with y'all.
Awesome. We have a fun, specific to Manzano High School program planned for you. We're going to begin with Ms. Martinez. She's going to talk about her Educators Rising program, a little bit about herself, and she's also going to tell us some things about culinary because our culinary teacher could not be here with us today. Ms. Martinez, welcome. You go ahead and dive in.
Good morning, Monarchs. My name is Miss Martinez, and I am the Education and Training Pathway Teacher here at Manzano High School. A little bit about myself. I am a former Monarch. I went to Manzano and graduated from Manzano in 1995. Fun fact, I always saw the classes that I teach being offered, and I never took any of them, which is funny that I ended up teaching what I taught. I always thought that I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, and I went to college and I ended up getting my degree in family studies with a focus on early childhood development. I worked for a before and after school program, and then I always knew deep down that teaching is where I needed to be. I was the kid when I was younger and we would be playing school. I always had to be the teacher. Part of it maybe was because I am a little bossy and I like to take control of things. But I knew that one day I needed to be back in the classroom. This opportunity opened up to me 12 years ago. I was nervous. I knew that I could handle little kids. I wasn't sure how I was going to do with the high school students, but I have never been happier doing what I do. So the classes that I teach are Working with Young Children 1 and 2 and Teacher Academy. Working with Young Children 1 is an introduction to child development. We really focus on development of 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And the cool part about the class, probably the best part about the class, is we get to work on site with our mini Monarchs. So we do have an on-site pre-K program on campus, and we get to work hands-on with them. So everything that you learn in the class, you can directly put to use in a real life situation with little kids. However, I do know that maybe 3 and 4-year-olds aren't everybody's cup of tea. And so maybe, but you still like working with kids. Teacher Academy is open to all juniors and seniors. It's a class that explores the profession of teaching. So we explore teaching from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. And we also explore the teaching in the realm of special education and all of the special classes such as PE, being a music teacher, being an art teacher. You do get to go out and do observations, and you also will complete an 8 to 10 week field course experience where you are basically a student teacher in a local elementary or middle school classroom during that time. Teacher Academy is also offered as a dual credit class through CNM. So if you take the class and complete it successfully, you will end up with 4 college credits that are transferable to any college in the state of New Mexico. And those 2 classes are Education 1120 and Education 1190. And then the last class in the pathway is Working with Young Children 2, which is basically offered to only seniors. You do have to have taken Teacher Academy before you can take Working with Young Children 2, and it is a year-long internship. If those classes don't work out with your schedule, but you still like working with kids and you still like working in the education profession, we do have a student organization, Educators Rising. We do meet every other week. It is a student-run organization. We do do a lot of things such as hosting Explora nights at local elementary schools. We do a lot of tutoring and reading buddies with a lot of our feeder schools. And we just do some stuff to kind of celebrate all of the amazing teachers that we have in our lives, especially on our own campus at Manzano. So if you are interested in Ed Rising, there's lots of scholarship opportunities with that. We do have a state competition and a national competition. Last year, the national competition was in Orlando, Florida. And so we do get to travel to cool places and compete and meet other people who share the same passion as you. So if you have any questions about the education and training pathway, please feel free to reach out to me. You can email me. You can join our Ed Rising meetings. I will give Ms. Chavez and Ms. Carr the information so they can share it with everyone. So you have that. And I'm just going to briefly touch on our culinary program. Our culinary program is run by Ms. Gillespie, and she is amazing. She's unable to be with us today. We do have 3 classes in that pathway. We have Culinary 1, Culinary 2, and then the food services. And the food services classes is for those of you who maybe really do want to go into the catering profession, and it's all about catering. So they do a lot of catering for school functions and for outside functions as well. And, you know, who doesn't like to cook? You get to learn how to cook and make some amazing and yummy things. But if you are interested in culinary and that may be an elective that you want to take, please do not hesitate to reach out to Ms. Gillespie and she can give you some more detailed information. But we really, our CTE program is great, and we hope that all of you can take 1 or 2 classes from this pathway, because I think you guys will really get a lot out of it.
Well, those 2 programs sound like they're just like the creative person's dream come true, because
they are. And you may not, I always tell my students, you may not plan on becoming a teacher, and that's okay. But some of you are going to go into the medical field, or you may want to be a counselor, but you're going to work, you're going to have to know how to work with kids. And so, or you have to learn how to cook for your family. So you may not want to go into those exact professions, but you're learning some skills that are going to help you through life. And if anything, at one point in life, you may become a parent, and these classes are going to help you to be a better parent as well.
Right. And so it's interesting that you touched on that, because when being a school counselor is a second profession of mine, I love building a relationship with a student and connecting with them and helping them. However, I did not realize that I would be going into the classroom and doing things teachers need to do. So when I got further along into the program, I was like, whoa, what are these classroom presentation things? So part of what you can learn now is what I didn't learn until I was, a grown adult with children, trying to find my career path. And so being an educator, you kind of are a jack of all trades when it comes to knowing how to communicate in a classroom setting, manage a class, and then have that creative side to build relationships, connect with students. And I definitely am more comfortable one-on-one. So I just admire teachers so much. And I think that your class and your draw is awesome. I could tell that you could connect with your students really well. And so I would encourage all of you, if you're even thinking about school counseling, being a school nurse, a social worker, a teacher, a librarian, any of that stuff, talk to Ms. Martinez, maybe take a class or 2, see if it's a good fit. It's not a fit for everybody, but this is the age where it's good to try things and see what works.
Yeah, definitely.
And you might find that you surprise yourself, which, in my case, you have to get comfortable doing some things that you might not necessarily think you would like to do, but you do it because you have a passion for the field.
Exactly. And for me, for example, I never in a million years, if you would have asked me all throughout college, all throughout high school, what grade level would you want to teach? I never in a million years would have said high school. And now I can't imagine teaching anything else. So it is a good learning experience. And like Ms. Chavez said, you may like it, you may not, but you find that out early before you do start taking those college classes. And that's good too.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing your two programs, Educators Rising, and for sharing for our future culinary students, which both CTE programs that can definitely open up a wide range of opportunities for you after high school, even if you don't continue on that path into adulthood. You will have some skills to get better paying jobs. And so thank you, Ms. Martinez, for sharing with
You're
us.
welcome. Thank you.
I think next we have Ms. Simpson. Ms. Simpson is going to talk to us about technology degree certificate programs, and she is our brand new DECA teacher at Manzano High School. Welcome, Ms. Simpson.
Thank you. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am also a graduate of Manzano, and my mother was the first graduating class of Manzano, and both my daughters graduated from Manzano. To say I bleed purple is an understatement.
Wow. That's awesome.
So I truly love being at Manzano. And then I spent several years in customer service, where I did everything from banking customer service to retail customer service to finally ending up with broadcasting entertainment customer service, and then managing people. And that led me into starting my own business. And then from my own business, I started raising a family and was looking to be able to spend more time with them, and joined into started doing education, and went into elementary school education, started teaching technology to elementary school kids and teachers, which was really kind of cool. And that led me into Manzano about 5 years ago. And once I got into Manzano, when I was at elementary school, I really enjoyed working with those students. However, it was one of those small little doses. But now when I got into high school, I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity for me to share some of my knowledge and experience, and kind of help students decide what they want to do as a career. So I'm a little bit of a hodgepodge, like you said. I do DECA, and this is my first experience with DECA, and it is an amazing group. The students that are in DECA are unbelievable. And so DECA really focuses on business as a whole. What do you want? If you're wanting to be an entrepreneur, or you're wanting to go into hospitality or marketing or management, any of those pieces, DECA addresses that. And it's really kind of cool because it helps you understand setting goals for a business, how to provide outstanding service in a business, how to plan your company's budgets and your financing, and it takes you into marketing and how to promote your company. And so we do all these great things in understanding how to be an entrepreneur. And then the other side of the coin is we do great competitions. So on the spot, they'll have to come up with, here's a business scenario, tell me how you would grow the business. Or here's a scenario, what kind of marketing campaign would you put together? Or you're part of a sports and entertainment franchise, what are you going to do to promote that group? So it's really kind of cool. And so we do a district, a state, and a national level. So we hopefully we'll get to go to Anaheim in April, but if not, then there's always the following year. So it's just an amazing group of kids. And then DECA also has a DECA store. So you get to spend some time learning about retail, how to upsell, how to sell, run a cash register, all those things that we'll do in the DECA store. And then there's a huge community part of the DECA side. So we are always looking to put ourselves out there and helping the community and being part of that group. And then the last kind of section of that is we are very much connected to different businesses and organizations here in New Mexico. So it's a great place to start. We're constantly being told about business opportunities or employment opportunities for students, as well as scholarships and some really cool things that way. So I will encourage everyone, if you're interested in any kind of business or entrepreneurship, to definitely come check DECA out. It's really kind of cool.
Awesome.
Um,
It's so
Yeah. And then my other half is my technology piece.
Yes.
So the technology piece is it's twofold. There is a computer apps class, and the computer apps class is kind of those industry standard skills that all of us need. So we go through all of the Google suites, especially for school. So we learn how to use all of those, not just here it is and here's a brief. We really understand how to use the Google suite. We go into the Microsoft Office suite and learn how to do some Excel and things like that. And then we do some web designing ultimately in the end. So it's kind of a nice round balance of what we have going on. And then my last class is my computer technology IT class. And so that class is the class that I'm most excited about. It's the newest and up running, and we're one of the only schools in all of Albuquerque that's actually offering this. There were a handful of schools, and this is actually a 2-year program. You jump in, and the first year is kind of getting your feet wet and some experience and things like that. And then your second year, we really get into knowing how to be an IT person. So everything from customer service to CPUs to installing hardware, mobile units, networking, security, iCloud storage. It all kind of folds into that piece so that you're able to walk into, at the end of 2 years, we will provide you with your CompTIA certification testing. And then upon passing those 2 exams, you are offered this certification. And currently right now with that certification, you can expect to kind of walk into any entry level IT position. So your the IT position, like what I used to do, where you're maintaining and servicing computers and things like that, or maybe you're doing more of the customer service over the phone and you're helping people troubleshoot through that. Those kind of entry level positions. And I know I can only speak to currently what APS is offering, but APS offers that if you have your CompTIA certification and you are hired with us, that it's a $34,000 a year job. So it's one of those positions that with that CompTIA certification, you have the ability to leave high school and be able to start a career. And the best part about that is if you're interested in computer science or any type of college education, that this is a great job that you can do anytime. It's a 24-hour day job, so it's a great job to have so that you can pay for schooling. That's my other piece. I'm always encouraging kids, but it's a nice thing to have in your back pocket to know that it's you've already begun your certification to be able to leave college or leave high school with something that will make you an employable person. So
Exactly. And Ms. Simpson, you and Ms. Martinez have made some huge points that I would like our students to know is this experience, these are skills that you're learning that are employability skills. So putting stuff like this on your resume really just boosts your employability because you have like in the field experience or a certificate to back it up where you can start making more money out of high school. And like Ms. Simpson said, it will help pay for your schooling. I mean, $34,000 a year to start is a really, really well-paying job. When you start to think about, you know, how much you would make hourly in fast food or working at retail. So these skills can boost your employability and boost your income. So adding stuff like the marketing and DECA experience, the IT certification, or completing those dual credit educators rising classes, or the culinary experience you have, all of this stuff can be added to a resume and just completely give you the experience you need to get the job. And so, Ms. Simpson, your story is beautiful. The fact that you have such strong ties to Monsanto and that, there is love there. And I think when you combine love, care with like your passion of teaching and working with the teenagers, like that is the formula for just such a nurturing teaching environment where, that's what any mom wants for their sons, a Miss Simpson in their life. And just from my experience with Miss Simpson, as a new employee to Monsanto, she was so patient, kind. I've never used an Apple computer before talking with her, so I was super intimidated. And so definitely her program, you are going to learn and you're going to be watered to grow because she's going to take care of you and trust me. So both Ms. Martinez and Ms. Simpson so far, excellent, approachable teachers. And if you need her information or if you want to take one of her classes, you can email myself or Ms. Carr and we'll get you the information you need. Talk to your counselor about it. These are opportunities we just want to make sure you all are aware of because you're in high school 4 years. Right now, in the middle of a pandemic, it's hard to know what your options are, but they're still here and you still have real people with real love and care that want to help you. So thank you, Ms. Simpson. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the time.
All right, so next we have Mr. Aslan. Mr. Aslan, welcome.
Welcome. Hi.
Thank you for being here.
So first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Albuquerque and attended Albuquerque Public Schools. Immediately after graduating, I went to college thinking I was college bound. I was going to be an engineer. I was going to be an architect. But working my way through college, I had jobs. I always did hands-on industrial type of jobs, construction, working outdoors, working with my hands. And I realized within my first year of college that that was really my passion. My passion was not sitting in an office or working in a building in a typical work site, that I really enjoyed working with my hands and doing hands-on projects. And my mother was a teacher in APS. So I actually, got my degree in industrial arts education from UNM, and I started working at Monsanto in 1989. If you do the math, that means I've been there 32 years. So I was actually a teacher when Miss Martinez was a student. But the reason I've stayed so long at Monsanto teaching woodshop is that I really enjoy what I do, and I enjoy the aspects of industrial arts education. So the classes I teach are woodshop, woodshop 1 through 4, and students can come in with no experience in woodshop, and students can come in with experience in woodshop. We basically, I have to say, safety is like the number one thing that we do in industrial arts. Safety is a curriculum that all industrial arts teachers follow because we do work with power tools and hand tools or around power tools and hand tools. And the classes I teach are basically set up like a work site, kind of like a job experience, where there are some expectations to be timely and be productive and work at whatever individual level students have in a class to the best of their ability and be reliable employees and or students, and where the product of our industrial arts thing are the projects that people make and the experiences they have working with tools. We start off with safety training, of course, because we do work with materials and tools that can be hazardous if not used properly. The job site type situation with our our classroom is that the students are like employees, and I'm kind of like the foreman, and students have different jobs. We start off with training, and the training is safety training and training demonstrations, how to use different tools, how to make different projects. Basically, where lumber comes from, different jobs that students can go into that don't necessarily mean making projects, but working alone, working with power tools, working out in the workplace with starting with being a lumberjack, working in a woodworking factory. Some of the tools that we use in wood shop are actually carried over to different environments. We found out this year that many of power tools are used in meat processing plants, which is kind of interesting. But if students really like to work with their hands and work kind of as their own boss, where they can either work with a crew of other people or work on their own and not have a typical job, industrial arts is a really good field to go into. There are also some very skilled jobs that you can learn in industrial arts, like welding and even artistic areas using power tools. And some of the even basics for people who may not go into industrial arts as a career or into a field where they work with their hands is just being able to use basic tools. So many people have tools at their house, even hand tools, screwdrivers, and being able to have skills to make things and use basic tools can really help you in your own living situation, fixing things, building things, making things on your own. So I highly encourage people to pursue hands-on education and look into the many different fields that are maybe non-traditional, college-bound, working with their hands.
Right. So I love the fact that you brought up safety, because that's one of the things that is kind of a pattern with CTE classes and any skills learning class is with culinary, you have to learn how to use the tools before you can actually start cooking something. And with your woods program, you need to learn the safety before you can actually start using the tools. And I'm sure in Miss Martinez's Edge Rising, there are safety precautions when working with children, certain rules and protocols to follow to ensure safety for everybody. So that's a huge point for you to make, because it is probably even a little more dangerous in your situation with the tools that you use, but it's something I think students need to realize when they see something they want to do. You can't just jump in and do it. You have to learn the parameters of safety before you can start working with the different tools and equipment you need to do your job.
I even carry it on to one of the examples I give students are driving a vehicle. That a car sitting parked in a parking lot is safe. It's a safe tool until the operator gets in it and starts operating it. And just like using power tools or using stoves or using any kind of technical situation, you have to have training first. You may have to have a certification, which would, with a car, would be a driver's license. You have to know the rules of using that power tool or using that situation, and you have to follow. You have to work well with others, as in driving on the freeway. So that's just one example of safety and how it can carry over to different aspects.
Right. So, and with your own journey to finding your passion for education, I love that you shared that, because I think our students now, they have a whole wide world of options open to them. But, you'll find, as in my case and with Mr. Aslan, sometimes you go down a path and it ends up not being for the right reasons. Maybe you're trying to pursue something because you want to make a lot of money, or maybe you're trying to pursue something because your family says, go to college. But then you find what makes you happy, and really, the money comes and you get what you need. But when you're happy in your work, it doesn't feel like work at all. And
Yes,
that's
that is a very that is a very key point, and I am very happy with what I do and glad that I'm in the position I am in.
Yes.
And
you can tell, I could tell all of you who have talked to us today really truly love what you do and your jobs, and it shows. And I think that, you can't really make it in education if you don't have that love there, because, it's hard work, but when you enjoy what you do, nothing else really matters. Everything falls into place. So that's a really good message for our kids to know is, it goes to like the Rudolph. Whenever I watch Rudolph and the little elf wants to be a dentist and they want him to make toys, and he goes, that's a career story, embedded in a little Christmas claymation thing. But it's a really powerful message that do what makes you happy.
mm-hmm. And working with high school students is even a bonus. I just love working with students. It keeps me young at heart, and it's a great passion.
I'm going to say that also, that, especially high school educators, working with teenagers, isn't for everybody. Working with the elementary kids isn't for everybody, but there's something for everybody out there. And it seems to me like you found your dream job. Like, there's not a lot of woodshop teacher positions, there's not an abundance of that. So to have one of those and cherish it, and just, that's kind of how I feel in this role, is just, it's a lucky opportunity to help and do what you do best, and maybe impact some of these students. They might not even realize it now, but looking back, they might say, hey, he said something and it clicked like years later. So thank you for doing what you do and for coming on our career talk today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes. All right. And last, but definitely not least, one of my favorite people at Manzano High School is Ms. Carr.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Ms. Chavez.
Yes.
I like to be behind the scenes, so.
I know, but you're so fun in front of the scenes.
Well, happy Spirit Week. I see you've got your ugly Christmas sweater on.
It says not another ugly sweater, and it tingles.
That is awesome. And shout out to Troop 286 for hosting this week's Spirit Week, and it's just awesome. And thank you so much for putting this together for us. I think it is so important to also see all of these great career opportunities that we have built into Manzano that our students can take a part of every single year and build some career opportunities. So thank you for doing this.
Well, thank you. You're the one helping me with it all. And I'm glad you came out from behind the scenes, because not only is the activities director your full-time job, but you actually have a program with students and you're educating the youths. So tell us about your program.
Yes. So I had made a movie, but it's not working correctly. And I wanted to showcase all of the amazing things that our senators and how senators cross over so much. Miss Martinez was talking about her Ed Rising. Miss Simpson was talking about DECA. Well, we actually share a lot of the same students as well as athletics. So with Senate, you name it on campus, and our students are getting involved, from toy drives, from food banks, from assemblies. I can't wait till life gets back to normal and we get to have a ridiculously loud assembly, and in person we get to hear drop the bass. I feel so bad for our freshmen who don't know, like, kind of a theme song of ours that we end every single assembly with. Our senators get out and support. What our senators do is every time there is some event, it doesn't matter what it is, you'll see a senator there, just like you'll see someone from Ed Rising or DECA. All of us come together to really support each other at school and promote and celebrate in the successes. Oh, and we always have a cheer section at every single game. I'm really missing that. Last year for the tennis, our athletic director, Mr. Espinosa, took me to a tennis match. Well, tennis matches are supposed to be very quiet. And I'm like, yes, good job. And I'm like getting dirty looks. And I was like, oh, this is maybe I need to learn more about all the sports because I just want to cheer on people. So our senators go out into the community. I think one of the really important things, just like DECA with the Senate, is there is life building skills, those employability skills that we've talked about today. And when you have those employability skills, when an employer is looking at you, it doesn't matter. Even in high school, you have those skills available. Sorry, this is very heavy and I'm gonna fall down. But, you know, customer service matters so much. Most of you have worked with Miss Simpson, and her customer service skills are out of this world. And just like teaching you how to use a Mac, I didn't know how to use a Mac either when I got to Manzano. So she just has such patience. And those are things that employers are looking for. Like, how do you interact with other coworkers? How do you interact with your customer? One of the things, this is my 19th year in education. I've only been with APS for 5 years. I came from higher ed. But someone told me one time, like, why should I go to your school and not another school? And I was bold enough to say, because that other school doesn't have me. And they kind of looked at me and I said, look, you see my commitment right now. I'm going to see you get to graduation. And it was true. And I think that's the thing right here with Manzano. What makes Manzano the best? It's because all of the staff members, everyone here at Manzano makes Manzano a better place. And so when students are looking at what's an easy way to make my high school years better, okay, that's like number one. High schoolers are like, oh my gosh, it's high school. Kids, if you guys want to make high school the best, get involved. If you get involved, it makes your time go by so much quicker. And time flies when you're having fun, right? And when I know everything looks different with COVID right now, but there's so many things still going on at Manzano that you can get involved in. But when we come back to a normal schedule, everybody, get involved and make high school as great as you possibly can. A few other things Senate always does is the assemblies, all the school dances. We have a snack bar too, just like DECA, but we don't sell the same stuff. So we each have our little niche market there. And then the next is we have a spirit shop. We started that at the end of last school year, but it's up and going. And with Senate, we compete, and I'm so proud of our senators. We did win the roll call for our central district, which is made up of all the high schools in APS, but also the East Mountain, Las Lunas, Moriarty, and Rio Rancho. So I'm really proud of our senators for winning that, but our state competitions will be coming up soon. So join Senate, get involved. If Senate's not right for you, join DECA, join Ed Rising, get in culinary arts. All of these classes that were focused today can really, really help open some doors for students. So
getting involved just kind of opens up that positive waterfall where you're learning new skills that can help your employability, skills that can teach you, what you need to do with customer service or whatever career field you're going into, and just gives you that edge.
Yes.
Which means more money eventually. So when you're applying for a job, it's it's very rare that you're the only applicant. So there's going to be, you know, maybe 10 other people with their resume in. They look at yours, oh, you were in student senate and you did this, this, that, and the other, and you led this and you organized that. That's going to set you apart from someone that has never had a job, was not in any programs at their high school. And so this is what you guys need to know, because these lead to money. And, you know, money isn't everything, but we need it to pay our bills in the end, right?
True.
And why not get the benefits of enjoying that experience? Because look at Miss Carr is like one of the most amazing people I've ever met, and definitely just rainbows and sunshine all the time. I don't know how she does it, but she does. She's a unicorn human being. She's a literal unicorn human being. And so, yeah, Manzano is so lucky to have her and the other teachers that we have, because they want to teach you and give you that edge and help you grow and help you find your passion and see you happy and thriving. So that's the message of today's program, is look what you have right in front of you at school right now. This is available to you. These people you can connect with, even if you don't necessarily take their classes, they would help you if you ask them a question. I think all of us here, you know, whether you take their class or not, or, you know, go forward in that program, they will help you and answer your questions. So I just want to thank all of you for being here and for what you do, because I think we all kind of have in our DNA what we can do, and you guys are giving everything you can. And I love you for it. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Yes. So share this program with your students. Hopefully we could spread the positivity and have a great Spirit Week, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Monarchs.
Bye. Thank you.